Tombstone, Arizona Territory, November 9, 1883. A quiet, peaceful day. But Sheriff Clay Hollister wasn't lulled by the quiet. From experience, he knew it could be the quiet before a storm. And the storm was brewing a few miles away in the town of Quartz Hill, where Marshal Vern Fawcett was taking one of the notorious Holcomb brothers into custody.
All right, Holcomb. Up. I said up.
You sure you want me to do this, Marshal?
I'm sure. Now get up.
I'm going to make you a deal. You forget all about this. And don't worry about that tin horn that said I did the killing. I'll take care of him. And then I promise you, Marshal, on my honor, nothing will happen to you.
What are you talking about? Do you think...
I don't think anything, lawman. I know. You just don't go around locking up one of us Holcombs. Especially Braid Holcomb. Didn't you hear about that back in Tombstone?
Yeah, I heard about the Holcombs a long time ago. Now let's go.
And you're just not acting real smart, Marshal. Are you?
We'll see. Now move.
Once you lock me in that jail, you're a dead man. I'm not fooling with you. I'm telling you straight.
I'll take my chances. Now get in there.
You're not taking any chance. I just gave you the only one you're gonna get. Marshal. Open it. And fast. But you heard about the Holcombs. I warned you, nobody locks us up. And when they do, they gotta know more than you do. I'm gonna kill you, Marshal. Move.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone Territory. November 10, 1883. The news of the killing of Braid Holcomb by lawman Vern Fawcett had just hit the telegraph wires.
Morning, Harris. I guess the normal greeting for a newspaper editor is, any news?
When you're answering a sheriff, the reply usually is, it looks like there's trouble.
Uh-oh, what's that?
Dispatch from Quartz Hill. Vern Fawcett arrested Braid Holcomb. Holcomb apparently tried to escape. Vern killed him.
Oh. Killing anybody is unhappy business, even for a marshal in the line of duty.
It must be, because Vern turned in his badge yesterday. Quit cold.
Well, just because of the shooting?
Dispatch doesn't say. Just says that Holcomb's two brothers and their cousin are out gunning for Vern right now.
I didn't think Vern had run.
I don't know. They seem to think he's heading back to Tombstone.
I hope not. That could mean trouble for his family.
Yeah, family feuds come easy for gunslicks like the Holcombs.
And for some nice people, too, like the Fawcetts.
What do you mean?
Vern's brother and father come to a boil a lot quicker than some people. And if the Holcombs start riding them...
Yeah, you're right.
I'd best go out and talk to Ben and Gabe.
Good. I'll go with you. My horse is down at the livery stable. Why don't you pick me up as you pass that... Didn't waste any time getting here, did they?
We're gonna waste less time leaving. Wait here, Harris. Hunk? Tip? I guess this must be the cousin, huh? You boys have come to town looking for trouble. You can stop right here.
You mean that bushwhacker Fawcett? Even he wouldn't be fool enough to come here. Everybody knows this is where his family lives.
Then why have you come to Tombstone?
We thought we might mind our own business. You ever try that, Sheriff?
Yeah, once that I can remember. Isn't that why two of you spent last spring in jail here?
Yeah. Put on 6-7 pounds. Just eating, doing nothing.
Well, you go right on doing nothing. Because if you do anything, you'll be lucky just to wind up in jail.
Sheriff, you'd be surprised just how lucky we can be.
You got until dark to clear out and stay out.
And if we don't?
Then your luck will have run out. You've got less than 5 hours.
Trouble?
Could be. I'm gonna ride out and see Gabe and Ben. I'll be back as quick as I can. You keep an eye on them, right?
Hey, it's the sheriff, huh?
So it is. Haven't seen Clay in quite a while. Well, good seeing you.
Gabe, Ben?
You looking for something, Sheriff?
Oh, no, just noticing you're haying. For just the two of you, you do a real good job. You know, if I had a spread like this, I'd quit my job so quick it'd make your head spin.
Maybe, maybe not. The lawman in our family don't feel that way.
Maybe Vern does. When was the last time you heard from him?
We got a letter last week.
Clay, there's something on your mind. What is it?
You don't know?
No, what?
Vern turned in his badge yesterday.
Do you know why?
All we know is that he quit his job right after he killed Braid Holcomb. And Braid's two brothers and his cousin are out after him.
You saying Vern yellered out?
I'm not saying anything.
You're sure hinting it, though.
Ben, please. You figured Vern came back, huh?
I just hope that he hadn't.
Don't worry. The Holcombs show their ugly faces around here, they'll get them blown clear off.
Holcombs are my problem, not yours, either of you. Is that clear?
Listen, if they come gunning for us or Vern, then the only thing
Don't get so all-fired excited, Ben. You already seen the Holcombs?
They're around. And if Vern shows up, I want you to keep him out of sight.
You mean hide like he's scared? Maybe you think he is.
Clay, you're the law here, but you got to do something fast. If we get in trouble with the Holcombs, we'll blow them clear into the next county.
You remember, Gabe. I've warned you.
Come on up to the house and see if your brother's at home.
There? Oh, they didn't even know what had happened. What about them?
They're still in the Alhambra.
Probably stoking up on Dutch courage.
Yeah. Think there'll be trouble even if Vern doesn't show up?
Even if. I hope he's 1,000 miles away from here by now.
Something wrong? You two look like you've just seen a ghost.
Maybe we have. Name of Vern Fawcett?
Ex-Marshal Vern Fawcett had returned to Tombstone, and a welcoming committee comprised of the Holcombs was waiting for him just across the street.
The way you two jumped when I came in, I thought maybe I'd done something wrong.
You have, Vern.
Wrong? In resigning?
Coming back to Tombstone.
I put his horse out back, Clay.
Thanks.
Why? I've got as much right to be here in Tombstone as the next man, even more.
Maybe he doesn't know what happened since he quit.
You think they ran me off? The Holcombs?
Something did. What?
I'll tell you what. That star that you're wearing. A badge that gives one man the right to gun another one.
It also makes a very good target. Men get killed wearing it.
You shot men, Clay. I never did. You squeeze that trigger. You feel that gun jump in your hand. You watch a man as he crumbles, sprawls. Then you hear that rattle in his throat.
Vern,
Yeah?
the Holcombs are across the street right now, just waiting to get even. We're lucky they didn't see you when you rode up.
You mean you're letting them stay?
Not stay, just wait. Look, I don't like killing any more than you do. Killing or being killed.
Clay didn't want to do anything until he was sure you and your family were safe.
Where do you think you're going? Over there to face 3 guns? Are you prepared for that?
I'm going to ride out to the ranch. Maybe stop by and tell Sally I'm back.
Sally.
Sally Reed, my girl.
No, you're not. You're going out that back door and you're going to make tracks for Tucson.
Run out now when I know they're here?
I think that's what you want too, Vern. Look, it happens to everybody one time or another. Something about seeing another man die makes you sick. But there's nothing to be ashamed of in getting buck fever.
No matter how I feel, I can't run out on Sally, or my dad, or my brother.
You're not running out, Vern.
You just ride to Tucson. Sit tight. I promise you I'll talk to Ben and Gabe and make them understand that you're doing it for their sake.
And if I won't?
And you're going into one of those cells. Protective custody.
Don't you mean you're going to have to put me in?
You want to make a break? Go ahead. Try it.
No. I can't, Clay.
All right. Now, once you get to Tucson, you wire me. You'll be back in Tombstone just as soon as the Holcombs leave.
Road to Tucson goes by the crossroads to their ranch.
I know it. I'll make sure that he goes right on past. I'm going to follow him. I'm going to talk to Gabe and Ben. And once they know that he's in Tucson, they may follow him. Until we're sure that the Holcombs really are gone. Oh, and if they start making trouble, try to stall them until I get back.
This is driving me wild. We just can't go on waiting here forever. Here's your gun, Pa.
Get your own gun cleaned. If he's not here by the time you're ready, the 2 of us are going into town. We're not going to let him face 3 guns all by himself. All right, let's go. We'll cut across to the back road.
The back road, Pa?
If they are waiting for Vern or us, I don't figure to ride into a trap.
You're right. Maybe surprise will help us when it's 2 against 3.
Could be 2 against 4 if that sheriff gets in the way. Nobody's going to hang around gunning for us or Vern. Come on.
Let's sit down. I'll go take a look.
anything?
No. We're running out of time.
I thought you were so sure that tin badge had run out and tell his old man we were here.
If they're waiting for us, we're sure not going to disappoint them. One more drink and we'll start riding.
Gabe? Ben!
Check your gun. Gabe, get off the street!
Get a gun. Gabe! Get back here! I'll cover you!
Ben!
Looks like the Holcombs will be staying in town after all. She was alive.
You were right, Clay. Buck fever's like anything else. Give it the right medicine and it'll burn itself out.
Gabe! Well, how are you two fellas doing?
Well, Ben's fine, just a little nick.
Huh?
Doc Cunningham says I can throw this thing away pretty soon now.
Well, I got a fair exchange for you. I got one of these as deputy. I'll trade it to you for that cane.
No thanks, Clay. I think I'll see how good I can do with a rope and a branding iron and Sally if she'll so have it.
She better have you or the whole Fawcett tribe will come after her roaring for trouble.
All I ask is when she says yes, you tell me. The epitaph can use a social, civilized item for a change.
Well, so long, folks.
Right.
Whistle me up a memory. Whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory. Whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
Cottonwood Trail in the Chiricahuas. Outside Tombstone, Arizona Territory.
Hey, what's the matter?
Sheriff.
Well, one sheriff, two of us.
That trail. Up the side of the hill there. Come on.
Now, what's the matter, Lugo? We don't know nothing. You afraid of him?
I said, come on.
Morning. You been in Tombstone?
Yeah? Why?
You resemble somebody I'm looking for. I'd like to ask you some questions. Hold it! Hold it!
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone Territory. Noon, December 9, 1884. A young and unknown gunman lay seriously wounded after a reckless attack on Sheriff Clay Hollister.
Outside of his wound, he may be going into pneumonia. Who is he, Clay?
I don't know for sure, but he answers the description of a kid who's been reported hanging around the bank. I started asking questions and he started shooting.
Well, somebody's got to be with him every minute.
I'll hire a nurse. The county will foot the bill.
Fine, but where are we going to get one? The hospital's short now.
How about Mary Rice? She's helped out before.
She's on her way to Prescott this afternoon on the stage to visit her folks.
Maybe she'll put it off.
Well, maybe, for you.
Galeyville, town of a black and lurid history. The only inhabitants, the lawless.
Alita, that beats you.
You're getting too good, Snyder. I've got to protect my championship.
Trouble.
Eddie? Where's Eddie?
Shot down. Right in back here. The sheriff.
You don't send a green kid like him to look over a bank job? Just because he's your nephew, he does anything he wants, huh?
Is he dead? Sheriff kill him?
I don't know. Looked like it. Anyway, took him back to Tombstone. Eddie rode up to meet him. He wouldn't listen to me.
Get my horse.
You want me to go, Sam?
No. I need you. I'll come back for you. They don't know any of us in Tombstone. There won't be any trouble.
What does this do to our plans?
We didn't come all the way from the Dakotas for nothing.
Appreciate you staying, Mary.
Well, maybe someday I'll learn how to say no to you. I'll do everything I can for him, Clay.
Doc Cunningham doesn't give him much of a chance.
We'll see.
Got a pretty sick boy here, Mary. "103 fever and still going up."
Mary,
Clay, mind coming back later?
thanks again for your help.
Sure picked the right nurse, didn't I?
Yes, Clay?
Who is he, Mary?
He can't really be a criminal. He was never even really wild, no matter what people said.
All right. Let's start with his name and where he wasn't really wild. Look, Mary, if missing me is all he's guilty of, there won't be any charges.
His name is Eddie Casper. He's from Prescott. I haven't seen him in, about 6 years.
Casper. Nobody by that name's wanted for anything that I know of. What about his being wild?
Oh, he was noisy, the way kids are. And he always wanted a fast horse so he could kick up the most dust on Main Street. And he bragged a lot. Mostly about a rich uncle in the Dakotas who he said could buy him anything.
Who was his uncle?
I don't think there really was an uncle. Well, didn't you ever make things up?
Sure. Look, Mary, Pete and I have to go to Bisbee tonight, mine payroll. I'm gonna leave a guard right here.
Oh, that won't be necessary.
People can change a lot in 6 years. Be back tomorrow noon.
Hey, fella!
It's all that hell you hit him, gents.
Yes?
We're taking that boy.
Why? Who are you?
His kid.
His kin?
I'm his uncle. Don't yell. Don't do anything. Eddie? Eddie, how you feeling, boy?
Sam, I'm sorry, Sam.
There's nothing I can't get you out of. We're taking you back.
You're not taking him anywhere. Moving him now could kill him.
We got a wagon full of straw. Easier ride than the way he got up here.
He's verging on pneumonia. He needs constant care.
And he's going to get it. Good care. From you. When Eddie's well, you can come back. Fair enough? Easy with him now. Easy. Better leave a message for the sheriff. Something he can understand.
Take any stock in that?
Yep. That's not going to keep me from following him.
I'm going in to see him.
You'll not. The trip is too much for him. His life doesn't mean a thing to you, does it?
It's the only life it does.
Well, then from now on, you're going to do exactly as I tell you. Here. This is a list of medicines and supplies that I have to get from Dr. Cunningham at the Tombstone Hospital.
What's all this?
Latin. Pharmacological Latin. It's the only way medical supplies are ordered, and Eddie would die without them.
I'm warning you, if this is a trick, tell them where we are.
Is my name on it? Does it say anything about Galeyville or you?
If this is a trick, there's going to be a dead doctor and a dead nurse.
We don't even know who we're looking for.
We'll find out. Just keep asking questions.
Did you get any answers?
Not today. We'll be going out again tomorrow. What do you want to see me for?
Here's a note.
All right, what is it?
It's from Mary. It's an order for medicine written in Latin. And directions, maybe where to find her. Vicus Latus, village of the bandits. Mons Magnum, large mountain. And northeast.
Vicus Latros. Galeyville.
Should I start getting a posse together?
No. It's about a posse 10 miles off. Kill Mary, like they said. Maybe one man might make it. I'm starting tonight for, Vicus Latros.
December 12, 1884. Sheriff Clay Hollister rode a little-known trail through the Chiricahuas to Galeyville, where Nurse Mary Rice was being held prisoner.
Eddie looks real good this morning.
He'll have to stay in bed at least another week.
Week, huh? Thought you was itching to get out of here.
I am.
Well, you just let me know when you're ready.
I don't have to be watched. I'm here to do a job, and I'm leaving when it's over.
Yeah? Tell Hoskins.
I'm here, Eddie.
Please. Just stay here. Something I want to tell you when I'm better. Something important.
Yes, Eddie. When you're better.
How long are you going to keep her here, Sam?
She's a lively, handsome young woman.
Look, Sam, she's seen enough and heard enough to hang us all. How much longer?
You'll be the first one to know, Snyder. You're the one who's going to see to it that she doesn't hang us.
Come on. We're getting out of here.
I can't leave him, Clay. Not yet. He's just not well enough.
And when he is well enough?
Then they'll let me go. Oh, Clay, when I sent that message through to Dr. Cunningham, I didn't mean that.
What did you mean?
Well, we can't leave him here to die.
Look, Mary, be sensible. They'll never let you leave here.
Clay, I've got to help him. And I don't mean just as a nurse. I can persuade him to leave here, to give this up. I know I can. Oh, please, Clay, let me talk to him in the morning.
All right. You talk to him.
Thank you.
But regardless of Eddie, I'm getting you out of here at noon tomorrow. Find some excuse for going for water.
But they always keep a lookout there.
I know it. Don't you worry about him.
All right, I'll be there. Eddie, please listen to me.
Tomorrow you can spend the whole day just reforming me.
You were almost killed. Didn't that prove anything to you?
Yeah, it proved a lot. To hit what I aim at, like Clay Hollister.
Nobody can keep you here. Soon you'll be well enough to leave. I'll help you. I want to help you.
Why?
Because you mean a great deal to me.
Enough to go away with me?
Eddie, do I have to be in love to want to help you?
You seem to forget I joined up with my uncle because that's the way I wanted it to be.
You don't want it. You're still young. You could have a real future for yourself. You could go to California or back east. Well, in no time at all, you could have a wonderful new life.
I got everything I want right here. I'd like to see my uncle now.
Eddie would like to see you.
All right. Mr. Snyder, I said you'd be the first one to know, didn't I? Quietly, Mr. Snyder.
Let's go, Lugo.
She's not going for water. She's going to meet Hollister.
Why didn't you tell me all this before?
How could I? She was here all the time.
I'll take care of the sheriff, Eddie.
Sam, what about Mary?
She's been dead since we brought her here. You made your choice when you joined us, boy. You haven't got any now.
Yeah, you're right. I haven't any now.
Mary! Left the horses half-mile up the trail. Come on.
Parks! Parks! Hey, you suppose Parks took her for a little walk?
Come on. All right, drop your gun belts. Mary! Take him up.
Leave them be, little lady. Drop your gun, Sheriff. Drop them! Shoot them, both of them.
You afraid of the girl? It's just me that you have to shoot.
I said shoot them.
You were right. I had no choice.
There's nothing more anybody can do for him, Mary. Well, Mary!
Come in.
I've been meaning to return this to you. You left it at the hospital.
Thank you, but you keep it. I'll pick it up when I come back.
Back?
From Prescott. I'm finally on my way.
I'll miss you. Hurry back.
Clay, what will happen to Sam Hoskins now?
Oh, I don't know. He'll stay right here in jail until his trial comes up, and then it's up to the court.
Oh, I see. Well, I better not miss my stage after all of this.
Good trip now.
Thanks. And I will.
Will what?
Hurry back.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
October 15, 1882. A short distance from Tombstone, Arizona Territory.
Me first, gentlemen. This ought to run close to $9,000. Much better than last time. Get the driver's body off and wait for me at Indian Springs.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone Territory. Another Argus wagon ambushed, 2 more brutal killings, and now, for the first time, committed in the jurisdiction of Clay Hollister, Sheriff of Tombstone.
Driver and the shotgun guard from the Argus mine shipment. Wait here.
You think it's the same 3 men?
If you want to call them men. Last month, they hit that first wagon over here by Pantano. 2 weeks later, they ambushed the second wagon, Sonoyta. And day before yesterday, they're clear down here.
Every time it's a wagon belonging to Argus.
Yeah. Well, come on, Quint. Let's go report the robbery to Whitaker.
Right. And all 3 of them got away? Makes you look kind of foolish, don't it, Sheriff?
Oh, come on, Burgess. The sheriff isn't responsible for the entire Arizona territory.
He's responsible for Cochise County. You don't even know who you're looking for.
I know what I'm looking for, Burgess. That's how they get their information. They must have known where each of those shipments was heading and along what trail.
Now, Clay, you've seen how cautious we've been. We've followed every suggestion you've made.
Each time the wagon was carrying what you people call a small shipment of silver.
That's true. Less than $10,000 in silver ingots. The big shipments haven't been touched.
Any explanation?
Yeah. Big shipments have 2 or 3 guards. Do that with a small load and it'll get through.
He's got a point.
Sure, he's got a point. An experienced guard costs $100 a day. Men like Bat Masterson, even more. You put 2 or 3 of those on our small shipments, there goes our entire margin of profit.
When's our next wagon going out?
I'm not certain.
I'm driving that wagon myself, guard or no guard.
Thanks, Burgess. I'll think it over.
You think he means it?
I believe he does. I also believe that if he does take the next wagon out, there's a good possibility that it won't be attacked.
Meaning?
Clay, there are 5 men who know the details of our silver shipments. 4 of them are officers of the company. The 5th man is Burgess.
You think he could be the contact with the killers?
I don't know.
There's one way to find out for sure. Let him drive that next shipment. I'll ride shotgun.
You're the sheriff. You call it.
I've called it.
These go to Globe, and this bundle's for Tucson. Thanks.
How many papers do you send out, Harris?
About 700 now. The epitaph practically saturates the territory.
I can believe that. I even found a piece of your front page out where that last Argus wagon was ambushed.
Is that your only clue?
Yeah, you can call it that.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Whitaker.
Suppose you can find advertising space for this in tomorrow morning's paper?
Mr. Whitaker, for an ad that big, I'll print a new page.
I'll see you later.
Oh, Clay, if you got a moment, I'd like to talk to you.
All right, I'll wait outside.
Good.
Still short-handed, huh?
Yes, can you read it all right?
Steady jobs in Tombstone for dependable men.
Set it up in that big black type. I'd kind of like to attract the attention of the out-of-town readers.
Let's see. Immediate openings for 10 drillers, also pushers, teamsters, and hard rock miners. Highest pay.
Just set it up like the other ads.
Sure will. And, thanks, Mr. Whitaker.
Just bring some help to Tombstone. Clay, you still willing to ride guard on our next wagon?
Of course.
You'll be riding with Burgess.
Does he know about it?
No.
Well, when do we leave?
Monday morning, 8 o'clock. Sure hope I'm wrong about him.
Just have to wait and see.
Clay, I'm glad you brought the wagon back. Where'd you find it?
Not far from Indian Springs. Horses had been unhitched and they were grazing nearby.
How do you figure it?
I don't know. Looked like 3 horses left the scene of the ambush, but only 2 of them were being ridden. One man must have driven the wagon and left it near Indian Springs.
Well, it's all loaded and ready to go. I hope we don't lose it this time. Here comes Burgess. I'll let you break the news to him.
Well, Hollister, what are you doing here?
Oh, I thought you might need some help on this run.
Don't know as I do. From you, that is.
Well, you're going to get it anyway. I've decided to ride shotgun for you.
Oh? When did you decide?
A couple of days ago.
Kept it a secret, huh? You and Whitaker. So I'm the one who's been tipping off them bushwhackers.
You just concentrate on getting this wagon through to Tucson.
Was I you, Hollister, I wouldn't trust me any further than I could throw one of them 90-pound ingots we're hauling. Have a cigar.
No, thank you.
Just a little rock slide, Sheriff.
I don't like the look of it.
What's the matter? You nervous? You mean I'm going to have to go out there and clear them rocks by myself, huh?
I'll cover you.
I'll tell you what, Hollister. I'll stay here and you go out there and clear them rocks. Wait till I see that Whitaker accusing a man just because... Burgess! I'm all right. Stay under cover. Never figured they'd jump us, Sheriff. Sorry. I've always had a big mouth.
I'm sorry, too. I guess we had you figured wrong.
You all right? Better than him. Who is he?
Don't know. Never saw him before.
Wake me up when we get back to Tombstone.
Very grateful that Burgess is alive. Clay, I sure owe him an apology.
Yeah. I guess we misjudged him.
Oh, that killer you brought in, who's he?
Body's still unidentified.
And the other two men?
I only saw their backs as they were riding away.
Well, don't feel too badly about it, Clay. Burgess is alive. You did bring back the silver.
There is one thing. I was wondering if there could be any...
Yes?
Sorry, the clerk said to come in.
Oh, I imagine you're looking for a job?
Yeah, that's right, a job.
I'm sorry I can't see you now. Just wait in the hall.
Yes, sir.
You were saying?
Oh, nothing, just that there's no new evidence. I'll let you know if anything comes up.
Oh, thanks, Clay. Thanks for everything you've done.
Clay Hollister had found newspaper clippings from the epitaph at the scene of both robberies of the silver shipments from the Argus mines. For some reason, he had not mentioned it to the mine superintendent, John Whitaker.
Guess you heard we had a little trouble.
Yeah. You know better than to come into Tombstone.
That tin star didn't recognize me.
Doesn't make any difference.
He'll never get us.
No one will if you follow orders. Just keep on storing the silver at Indian Springs. Now go find yourself a new man to work with. Keep on taking your orders from my ads. From now on, I never want to see you in Tombstone, do you hear?
I heard you.
Hi, Harris. How about a game of cribbage?
Sure. Well, how's your puzzle coming?
Puzzling. Whitaker keeps changing the route of silver delivery to Tucson, and he still keeps getting robbed. It just doesn't make any sense.
It makes sense to somebody. Somebody's making a fortune.
Yeah. Harris, do you remember that piece of your front page that I found out where the other Argus wagon was held up?
Yeah? The October 11th issue, you said.
Uh-huh. Did Whitaker have a want ad in that issue?
Well, I don't know. Let's find out.
What about our game?
Later, Quinn.
Later.
Good thing I keep a complete file of the epitaphs, or you never would solve any of your crimes.
I'm glad it makes you feel needed. Where's the paper?
Let's see. You said October 11th.
One of Whitaker's ads, all right. And I took this one off of the outlaw who was killed.
Well, that's Whitaker's latest ad. Here. There it is.
Printed 4 days before Burgess and I were ambushed. You know, Harris, this hold-up gang may be getting information on time, destination, and route of these shipments from a code in these ads.
Well, how? John Whitaker writes these ads himself.
I know, but Burgess and Whitaker are the only two men outside of the owners of the Argus who had the information on these shipments. And Burgess cleared himself yesterday. Harris, I need your help. I want to go over every one of Whitaker's ads, and if there's a code, we'll break it.
All right. Let's start here and work back.
And the Pantano robbery checks, too. This ad told the killers where to go and when to get there.
Well, it looks like we've broken their code. But I wish we had a few more cases to go on so we could be sure.
No. More cases mean more killings. I hope that Whitaker's next move is to send the bullion by way of Fairbanks again. A repeat shipment would give us the final check on the code that we need.
Yeah. Are you going to ride shotgun?
You just let me know the minute that Whitaker brings in the next ad. I'll ride shotgun, all right. Maybe to Fairbanks or maybe someplace else.
Carol.
You calling me, sir?
Yes. I want you to take this ad to the epitaph for tomorrow's newspaper. And then, if you don't mind, stop in and see the sheriff and ask him to come see me at his convenience.
Yes, sir.
According to this, you'll need that next Tuesday.
Whitaker's ad?
Yep. Have you talked to him yet?
No, I sent Quint instead. Needs 6 drillers at once. And drillers, that's the code word for Fairbanks, and 6 is the Desert Trail.
Apply 7 a.m. Tuesday. That's when the shipment leaves, right?
Right. When does this get printed?
Tomorrow. He wants to see a proof this afternoon.
All right. Print it just this way, but only for those papers that are going to stay right here in town. What did Whitaker want?
A guard. You, preferably. For a silver shipment he's sending to Tucson by way of Fairbanks.
When?
Early next week. He said the exact day would depend on when he has a good driver available.
Did he mention a route?
Oh, he said he'd talk that over with you.
Yeah. He's still being careful that nobody finds out too much, except for his own gun slicks. Well, we'll just have to see that the gun slicks are far away from Fairbanks. All right, Whitaker will see his ad, just as it's written here, just as he wants it. For the out-of-town papers, make it read like this.
Change 6 drillers to 8 hard rock miners and make the departure time 4 hours later.
That's right. I want to give those outlaws plenty of time to locate a good ambush spot on the canyon trail to Tanque Verde.
Flagstaff, needs it for Phoenix, needs for Prescott. That's it. Get in. There they go, Clay. Those copies have Whitaker's ad with the changes you made. Local edition, word for word, the way Whitaker wrote it.
Good enough. Quentin and I are seeing Whitaker on Monday. We got a story cooked up that'll keep him happy until Tuesday.
Well, this about tomorrow, gentlemen?
Either Quentin or I are riding on that shipment to Fairbanks tomorrow.
Why, Clay? It's a little late to get other guards, and I don't think I should postpone it.
Well, you don't have to postpone it. Send it without guards. Got this message from the sheriff of Pima County.
Argus gang reported seen in Tucson and heading west. Large cash silver ingots located and being held in Tanque Verde. Suggest Argus authorities try to identify as loot from recent robberies. Tanque Verde? Why, that's impossible.
Impossible, Mr. Whitaker?
Well,
it's worth looking into, even if the mill stamps have been hammered out.
They have been hammered out?
Yes, but you should be able to identify ingots from your own crushing mill anyway, shouldn't you?
Why, yes, I should be able to recognize them. What do you want me to do, Clay?
You drive a wagon to Tanque Verde yourself. Quentin and I'll ride shotgun on whatever you bring back.
Fine. But you sure that wagon to Fairbanks won't be waylaid?
I'm sure of it.
Looks like we got us an alert shotgun rider today.
Well, you know how these kids are. Stay up all night and still expect to do a good job in the morning.
All right, are we ready to go?
And why don't you grab yourself a couple of winks so you'll do us some good on the way back with the silver?
Oh, I could sure use it.
Sound asleep. I guess we really don't need him with an empty wagon.
Nope.
Reach up, you're covered front and rear. Don't shoot, it's Whitaker!
Hold it. You won't need those guns. Drop it. Start climbing. Real nice shooting back there, Quint. Especially for a fellow who's fast asleep.
Sure put him to sleep.
Time to wake him up. Come on, Whitaker, get up. Can't lie there all day. Gotta make room for some friends of yours. You won't have any trouble identifying them.
Come on, get up in there.
The whole territory will be interested in today's paper, Clay.
Hey, it seems kind of light, Harris. What's the matter? Not as much advertising as usual?
I'm not complaining. At the rate Whitaker was robbing the Argus mines, they couldn't have paid the bills much longer anyway.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
Tombstone, Arizona Territory, October 9, 1882, mid-afternoon. A $20,000 shipment of bank cash destined for Tucson was being transferred from the stagecoach to the Wells Fargo safe to be held overnight.
Help you, ma'am?
You're the sheriff.
Clay Hollister. And you're...
Liz Dalton. I just came in on the stage. I'm staying in town overnight. I'm on my way to Tucson. It's my first trip there.
Oh, it's too bad. That's Tombstone's loss. But you're welcome anyway. It's my deputy, Quint.
Hello.
If we can be of service?
You can. For one thing, I thought perhaps you might recommend a nice place for me to stay.
Oh, well, there's the Russ house just down the street. It's about the quietest place in town.
Thank you. Oh, Sheriff, do you think that I might arrange to leave these in the safe overnight?
Well, that'd have to be up to the Wells Fargo people.
I'd feel a lot safer if I could. They're quite valuable, my jewels. Most of them are family heirlooms, so naturally they mean a great deal to me.
Sounds like a good idea if it's all right with Sam. Sam? Miss Dalton here would like to use your safe.
Well, sorry, the safe's for company business only. I'm really awfully sorry, Miss Dalton. You understand how it is, company policy.
Please. I'd sleep so much better tonight if you would. Couldn't you do it as a personal favor for me?
Well, I think we can arrange it in your case, Miss Dalton. Well, the company wants to accommodate us travelers.
Thank you, Mr.
Wade, Sam Wade.
Thank you, Mr. Wade.
Come with me. Put it right there in the case. I'll check the jewels. Yes. Now you've got a string of pearls, 2 diamond earrings, and 2 brooches, correct?
That's right.
Quint. Quint?
Yeah.
I think I can take care of things here if you want to go finish your round. You should enjoy Tucson, Miss Dalton. Of course, they haven't got anything there that we don't have right here. Maybe a little bit more of it.
I'm sure I'll like it, Sheriff. There. I feel a lot better now.
Don't close it. My name is Packard, Judd Packard. I'm sorry about that holler, but I'm carrying over $1,000 in cash here, and I certainly would like to lock it in your safe overnight, if you don't mind.
You're sure doing a Russian business today, Sam.
I'll take care of you, Mr. Packard, just as soon as I give this little lady here a receipt.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory.
Well, I was just going to do that. Well, saves you the trouble. Thanks. Now you can move this whole...
All right. I see it.
Why, a fellow named Packard over at the Oriental wants to see you. Said they need your help.
Packard? Oh, yeah. What did you want?
Well, he's in a big ruckus over a poker game. Looks like it could get serious.
All right. I'm going over that way. I'll walk with you.
Here's the sheriff. Now he'll vouch for me.
What seems to be the trouble? He's lost all his cash. Wants to keep on playing. I want to see the money.
We're gonna keep on playing, mister. You're not quitting till I've had a chance to win back.
Easy, Packard.
All right. But you tell this man I got $1,000 cash in the Wells Fargo safe.
That's right. Why didn't you just show him the receipt?
Well, I don't have it with me. It's up in my hotel room.
Is that right, Sheriff? Sure it's right, or I wouldn't say so. One more thing. No more squabbling. Keep the game quiet or it breaks up.
Oh, Sheriff,
Yeah?
you know, it might be a good idea if you stuck around for a while.
What for?
Oh, sort of keep an eye on the game. After all, man's been as lucky as Todd here.
winning steadily, hand after hand, might just learn something.
You accuse me of cheating?
Well, you don't mind if the sheriff watches, do you?
You never can tell about people you're traveling with. Now, you take me. All you know about me is that I'm a salesman, traveling in the same places as you and Judd Packard.
So?
So I'm a lot smarter than you think I am, because I found a way of making some real big money.
How?
Oh, I've got all kinds of things to sell, like information. Do you realize there have been 2 safe robberies, big ones, in towns that we've been in?
All right. We'll cut you in. But if we get caught, there won't be anything for any of us. So let's get out of here.
Where to?
To hide this.
But I'm going with you. This afternoon, when your friend Judd Packard rented their horse at the livery stable and went riding, I followed him. So I know just where you're headed for. I'll see that you don't get lost.
You all through, Packard?
Yes, I'm through.
All right, shut up. You really wrecked this place. Now you're going to pay for it.
I'm not going to pay for something.
You want to spend some time in a Tombstone jail?
All right, I'll settle up in the morning when I get my money out.
All right. Now I suggest you head for your hotel room. The rest of you can head for home, too. This card game's over.
Wait. This is far enough. I've decided. We don't have to hide it.
But we're strangers here. The sheriff might search our rooms. Judd will come back for it in a day or so. That's the way we always work it. We'll decide on the split then.
Oh, I've already decided on the split.
What do you mean?
This one's mine. All of it.
Oh, no, you don't.
Oh, don't I? You think the price of freedom for Packard and you is too high? Hand it over, lady. Give it to me.
All right.
A few hours later, the same night.
Well, did everything go all right?
No, it didn't. Something went wrong, real wrong.
What do you mean? What happened?
You remember that little man that came in on the stage with us? Kept trying to make conversation?
What about him?
He followed me. He caught me red-handed. I didn't even have a chance to close the safe.
What do you mean he followed you?
Just that. He was in Lordsburg when we were. Maybe Prescott, too.
So?
So he knew. He must have seen us make the deposits. Then when the places were robbed, he put two and two together. He's been following us.
All right, all right. How much does he want?
He wanted it all.
He wanted it? Oh, you mean you settled with him?
I settled with him. I killed him. I had to do it. He never would have left us alone.
That gun was to be used as a last resort.
It was. It's done, and that's that.
Not quite. You've let yourself in for a murder charge.
Not me. We. You're in this, too.
Oh, no. Not in the killing, I'm not.
Oh, yes, you are. You're my accomplice, and don't forget it. Because I won't ever. They won't catch us, Judd. And besides, we're rich. Very rich.
Early morning, October 10, 1882.
Morning, Miss Dalton. Sorry to waken you so early, but I've got some bad news.
About what, Sheriff?
About your jewels. The Wells Fargo safe was robbed last night. Cleaned out. Everything.
Everything. But my jewels, they're family heirlooms. They're worth a fortune.
I'm sorry, Miss Dalton. Of course, I'll do everything to recover them.
But I put them in the safe so that... Sheriff, I'm holding you personally responsible, along with the Wells Fargo company. You'll both be hearing from my attorney.
Yes, ma'am. But in the meantime, I'll need a description of the jewels, as complete as possible.
There was a string of pearls. 43 pearls in each strand. Each one perfect.
Pearls 43.
There was a serial number on the clasp. 578348282.
578348282.
And there were a pair of earrings. Gold mountings. There were 5 small, perfect diamonds in each one. That's a total of 10 diamonds, Sheriff.
Your addition's as good as your memory, Miss Dalton.
And there were 2 brooches, cameos. There were dates inscribed on the back. One was March 6, 1818, and the other was August 21st, I think, 1831.
21st, 1831?
Yes. That's everything, Sheriff.
Thank you, Miss Dalton. You'll be hearing from me.
Anything new on the robbery? I asked you. Clay?
Oh, hello, Harris.
Why all the deep thought?
Thinking about Liz Dalton.
What about her?
She was in a position where she could have seen the combination to the safe when Sam Wade opened it.
You really think she did it? Then came back later and stole her own jewels?
And close to $20,000 in cash. Harris, she's got a phenomenal memory.
How do you know that?
Well, when she was itemizing the contents of her jewel case, she told me exactly how many pearls she had, the serial number on the clasp, even the dates on the back of the brooches. Wouldn't you say that was a little unusual?
Clay, one of the stage passengers that rode into town yesterday is missing.
Missing?
Yeah, a man named Harry Ames. The hotel manager just told me. Thought we ought to know. He went out last night and never did come back.
All right, I'll go check it.
Sheriff Hollister, I was just on my way to see you.
You leaving town?
Yes, on the noon stage. You can contact me in Tucson at the Arizona Hotel, if and when my jewels are recovered. I'm sure you'll do everything possible to get them back for me, Sheriff. I'm sorry I was unpleasant this morning, but I was upset.
It's understandable.
Goodbye, Sheriff. I'd better leave while I still have some possessions left.
I don't envy you the ride. That's a long, hot 70 miles.
71 to be exact. Goodbye, Sheriff.
Oh, Miss Dalton.
Yes?
I'm searching everyone leaving Tombstone. No exceptions.
Don't you think that's a little ridiculous in my case, Sheriff?
No exceptions. Who should be able to understand better than you?
Help yourself, Sheriff.
Thank you. Nothing unusual, except maybe this.
Unusual, Sheriff, for a woman traveling alone.
Well, thank you very much, Miss Dalton. Sorry for the inconvenience. You can go now.
Quint, how about a game of cribbage? No, later. I got a job for you. Yeah, what's up?
You're gonna take a little trip.
Going to Tucson with you.
Official business, ma'am.
Later the same day, October 10, 1882.
Is it all there, Packard? You're in this deeper than I thought. First robbery, now murder. Let's go. Leave it. I'll carry it for you. Move out. Now, let's go. I got a telegram to send to Benson. There's no reason for Miss Dalton and my deputy to travel all those 71 miles to Tucson. She's got some unfinished business right here in Tombstone.
I don't know how anyone opens one of these blasted things with... Hello, Clay. I was just trying to figure out whether Liz Dalton will open that thing by remembering the combination or whether she did it by sound. You know, listening to the tumblers.
Why didn't you just ask? Here.
Answer your inquiry, Ray Judson Packard and Elizabeth Dalton.
They were a carnival act for years before they hit on this safe-cracking idea.
Carnival act?
Yeah, you know. Liz would look at a page of a book for a couple of seconds and then recite it word for word. Photographic memory, they call it.
Well, how did you know about Packard?
Well, I didn't for sure. Just played a hunch. See, when Liz left town without the money, I figured somebody had to be in on it with her. And Packard went out of his way to start that wing-ding down at the Oriental at exactly the time of the robbery.
I see. So that's how she did it.
Mm-hmm. Gwen. From now on, when I'm out of the office, I want you to keep an eye on the editor here. I think he's planning on a life of crime.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
Tombstone, Arizona Territory, June 3, 1884.
How's business been tonight?
I'm glad we don't have to depend on this for a living.
What do you mean I've held up? I just found myself a silver mine worth millions, and I'm going to celebrate proper.
I'll take care of it.
Now, hand me one of them bottles. Now, that's fancy.
Give me the gun, Hal. Come on, hand it over.
I was just joking, Lily.
I know.
I'll take him to the sheriff.
He's gonna get some sleep.
I'm not finished celebrating.
You better watch out. The celebrating will finish you. Come on.
You mad at me, Lily?
No.
Still partners?
That was the agreement when I grub-staked you.
And you're just as rich as I am. Why don't the two of us have just a tiny little... No.
No. You better get some sleep. Now, good night.
actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory. June 4, 1884. The killing of miner Hal Swanson led to an immediate investigation by Clay Hollister, who had long suspected the person and motive behind such killings. In an effort to gain proof, he formulated a daring plan of action.
Vic? Here's that note for Tulsa Jack. You won't have any trouble finding him. He'll be in Skeleton Canyon working his diggings. After that, you better ride on fast. We expect to be in Tucson by Wednesday.
Where's your deputy headed?
Trial in Tucson?
No. I thought maybe you had a lead on the Hal Swanson killing.
Maybe I have.
Hey, wait a second. What's the story?
Well, you can tell your readers that I expect to arrest Swanson's murderer in the near future.
I always have that set up. No kidding. Have you really got a lead?
Yeah, I think so. I just don't like where it leads.
Well?
Harris, who would you say is the most popular, best-liked woman in Tombstone?
Nellie Cashman.
No, I mean outside of Nellie.
Well, Lily Murdoch, I guess.
That's right.
Well, what's that got to do with... Lily Murdoch? You're not serious.
I checked the records at the courthouse and the claims office last night. In the last 3 months, 4 miners have been killed and 2 others have disappeared. And all of them either grub-staked by Lily or with a will made out in her benefit.
Clay, Lily couldn't be mixed up in...
I just said she might be.
Well, there's no motive. Lily doesn't care a hang for money. Look what she gives to the Miners Protective and the Orphans Fund.
I know, but you've got to face the fact that 6 men either died or disappeared and Lily benefited.
Where are you going?
I'm going to go talk to her. You know, I've heard if you get a woman mad enough, she's just liable to tell the truth.
Oh, she'll get mad, all right. Clay.
Yeah?
Lily Murdoch has a lot of friends. A lot of power in town. Suppose, well, just suppose you do find out she's involved in these killings.
Well?
Do you suppose you could prove it before you got run out of town?
This looks all right, Matt. Anything else?
Whitehead's offered $55,000 on Swanson's claim.
We're not ready to discuss price on that yet.
That's what I told him, but he...
Come in. Well, Hollister, good morning.
Morning. I hope I'm not interrupting.
We just finished. The rest of it can wait, Matt.
Yes, Miss Murdoch.
Matt? Well, Sheriff, this visit social or official?
Official, ma'am.
We can be official and comfortable at the same time, can't we?
Yes, ma'am. Miss Murdoch, there's hardly a miner in Tombstone that you haven't grub-staked at one time or another. And when you do, you enter into a 50-50 partnership with him, don't you?
Well, that's customary, isn't it? May I offer you something, Sheriff?
Oh, no, thank you. If the miner should die, do you automatically inherit his half of the partnership?
Only if he wants it that way.
Like Hal Swanson?
Well, yes. I use the money to grub-stake other miners, or I give it to charity.
You've been very generous.
As far as I'm concerned, Sheriff, money has only one real value, and that's for people to use.
I see. Miss Murdoch, you're an intelligent woman. Haven't you any idea why I'm asking you all these questions?
To be perfectly honest, not the faintest.
The person who benefits from a murder usually expects to be questioned, even if he or she has nothing to do with it.
What do you mean?
Recently, 6 miners have either been murdered or killed in what appeared to be accidents. In each case, you benefited by the death.
Do you mean that you think that somehow I engineered these accidents or killings or whatever they were? Well, that's the silliest nonsense I ever heard of. How dare you accuse me?
I haven't accused you.
And you better not if you don't want to make a fool out of yourself.
Miss Murdoch, I once knew a man by the name of Asa Watkins. He was a...
Now, why should I do such a thing? I certainly have plenty of money.
Mr. Watkins didn't need any money either. He was the bank clerk in my hometown. A modest, obscure little man who never spent a dime on himself, but he loved to help other people. Gave generously to the church, sent kids through college, paid for operations, supported needy families. Everybody loved him. But after his death, it was discovered that during his lifetime, he'd embezzled more than $60,000 from the bank.
Get out of here. I said get out of here.
You see, Mr. Watkins wanted so much to be loved and admired that he became a thief.
Wait. I have a lot of friends in Arizona, Mr. Hollister. Some of them important, like the governor. Some of them not so important.
I realize that.
You've insinuated things here that you can't prove. But my position, my success here, depends on my reputation for honesty and fair play. If you do anything to damage that reputation, I'll turn you out of office and have you run out of town.
But at least we understand each other. Good day, Miss Lily.
Did you hear?
He can't prove anything.
He could start a lot of talk.
Who'd believe him?
There are always people ready to believe anything.
Well, what do we do?
Sailor still in town?
Saw him yesterday.
Good. Fine sailor.
Who is he? Gunslinger, by the name of Sailor.
What do you have against you?
He
He was for hire.
June 5, 1884. Clay Hollister had deliberately set out to arouse Lily Murdoch's wrath, and he had been successful. A few hours later, an attempt was made on his life.
If you're so sure Lily hired that fellow last night, why aren't you doing something about it?
I am.
What, for instance?
Waiting?
For her to try again?
Oh, for reinforcements. On his way to Tucson, my deputy was going to deliver a letter.
A letter? Who to?
Tulsa Jack. One of the few miners Lily never had to stake.
Why Tulsa?
I did a favor for him once. He's going to do one for me now, I hope.
Hooray, boys! I've struck it rich! Struck it rich! Ha ha! Well, boys, I've struck it rich! I've struck it rich! Hey, looky here! I don't nobody stampede, but the drinks are on me! Ha ha ha! Old Tulsa Jack has struck it rich! Come on up, everybody! Come on up! Set 'em up, bartender. Set up the drink for all my friends and all them friends I never laid eyes on. Here's to me. Never had a dime of my own, and now look at me. 10,000 goats and plenty more where that come from. Have a drink, everybody. Come on, keep putting them up there, bartender.
After he's had a few more, bring him up to see Lily.
Well, just like any other creek I ever saw. Just, you could jump over it, you know. It's shallow water and a sandy bottom. And underneath the sand was all this silver. Been collecting there for hundreds of years. Hundreds, maybe thousands of years, you know. Sort of like in the pocket. And now it's in my pocket.
Where is all this, Tulsa?
In Skeleton Canyon, the other side of Charleston.
Oh? I thought your claim was,
Well, no, that's just it, Lily. You see, it wasn't my claim. I don't know who it belonged to, so I had to get the stuff out fast. Loaded what I could in the saddlebags and then hid the rest. What I put in your safe wasn't 1/5 of it. So tomorrow, I'm going to take out horses, pack horses, and bring out the rest.
Well, that's wonderful, Tulsa. It couldn't happen to a nicer person.
And you're sweet, too. Well, I got to get back to my friends. You down there where the boys are, they'll be missing me.
I'm sure they will.
Lily, thanks for the drinks. You sure are nice.
Boys?
Oh, the setup couldn't be better.
I don't know. The sheriff's snooping around. I don't want to risk it.
Well, where's the risk? You didn't stake the old boy. There's no connection between you and him. Now, Sam and I'll bring the silver in and nobody will know.
No, Matt.
Now, look, we've played along. Let you give away half of everything we've taken in.
That's part of the setup.
Yeah, but lately you've been a little too generous. You act like you like throwing money away.
Well, it's paid off, hasn't it? Why do you think people trust me? Would Tulsa talk as freely to anybody else?
Look, the point is, we're the only ones that know. We can keep all of it, Lily, except the stuff he put in the safe. We'll turn that over to the sheriff.
All right. Go ahead, but be careful.
June 6, 1884. Despite a headache of major proportions, Tulsa Jack rented 2 pack mules and headed back out of Tombstone.
Tulsa!
It's about time you showed up. What I have to go through in the name of friendship.
You enjoyed every minute of it, and you know it.
Last night, yes, but not now. I wish them meadowlarks wouldn't sing so loud.
Well, there's some cover in those trees up there. Let's go. This ought to be good enough. How'd it go?
Well, I said everything you wrote me, and I made it sound good. But you're branding the wrong steer, Clay. Lily ain't no crook. She's nice.
Maybe.
Well, I know a good woman when I see one, I'll tell you.
Well, if your eyesight's so good, who's that coming up the trail?
Well, I'll be. Lily's boys.
You don't think they're riding out to Skeleton Canyon for their health, do you?
Well, them dirty...
You didn't tell them about the silver, did you?
Oh, no, just Lily. Like I said, looks like he was right. What do we do next?
I'm riding back to town. You stay out of sight. Tomorrow about noon, we're going to give Miss Lily Murdoch the shock of her life. Up on him.
The afternoon of June 7th, 1884.
Who's that? Tulsa Jack?
Yeah. He's been shot. You, get Doug Cunningham.
Matt, Sam, come in here.
What's the matter?
So Tulsa never showed up.
What are you talking about? Of course he didn't show up.
You're lying. What did you do with the silver?
I tell you, we didn't see any silver. Tulsa didn't show up.
I see. You decided to cut me out and split the silver between you.
Now, wait a minute. Now, look, Lily, put down that gun and listen to me. We didn't find any silver. Tulsa didn't show up.
Really? Then how come his horse just brought him in with a bullet in his back?
What?
Now, I'd give you just 5 seconds to level with me.
Look, Lily.
Your time is just about up. Who is it?
Hollister.
Come in. What do you want, Sheriff?
It's about Tulsa.
Matt's just been telling me he's been hurt.
He was shot in the back.
Oh, no. Is he?
He's in the hospital. He's holding on. He wants to see you.
Of course. I'll go right away.
You better come along, too.
What for?
You'll find out.
Lily.
Right here, Tulsa.
The doc says I ain't got a chance.
Now, that's nonsense, Tulsa. You're gonna be all right.
That silver in your safe is all I got. I want you to have it.
I'll keep it for you, Tulsa, till you're up and around again.
Tulsa. I want you to take a look at these men. Are they the ones that shot you?
Oh, now, what is this?
You loco? We never even seen him before.
Let him answer.
Yeah, them's the one.
He's lying.
Are you positive?
Yeah, they must have heard me talking to Lily.
You're under arrest.
Oh, now, wait a minute,
The victim
Sheriff.
identified you. That's enough for any jury. Turn around.
I'm not going to take this. It's a frame-up.
You want to make a statement?
I got plenty to talk about if it'll keep me from hanging.
Plenty to talk about who?
Never mind, Hollister. Take his guns. Put up your hands.
I underestimated you, Miss Lily. I didn't think you carried a gun.
Good thing I do. I couldn't afford to let Matt talk.
You were in back of these killings then. I was right.
You were right, Sheriff. Dead right. Take him out the back way.
Come on.
Will you join us in my jail, Miss Lily?
You can't prove anything. I've got influence, friends.
Friends have a way of deserting you when you stand trial for 5 or 6 murders. Let's go.
There you are, Tulsa. Keep it as a souvenir.
Really want to thank you for your help.
Well, somebody had to do the job.
It was your testimony convinced the jury.
Yeah, I know. But this town ain't gonna be the same without Lily. You know, she done an awful lot of good. Helped out a lot of folks when they needed it.
Well, what you say is true, but she also was responsible for a lot of killing, Tulsa.
I know, but she was a nice woman. She was an awful nice woman. I'm gonna miss her. We're all gonna miss her. Yeah, Lily was a nice woman. I don't care what you say, Lily was a darn nice woman. Yeah, she's pretty, too. And her hair, boy,
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
July 24, 1883. Tombstone, Arizona Territory.
Harris? Quint? Clay, I'm glad you're back. There's something you ought to know. Fine, in a minute. First, I want you to meet somebody. This Gay Monahan, Harris Clyburn, head of the Epitaph. This is my deputy, Quint.
Miss Monahan?
All right, Smokey, line him out. Clay. Miss Monahan's a lawyer from the East. He's come out here to practice.
Well, welcome to Tombstone, Miss Monahan.
Thank you.
Miss Monahan, we'll stop by my office first. I'll take you over to your rooms at the Russ house.
Clay, listen,
I got you covered, Big Jim. Stand right where you are. Don't move any closer. Keep your hands away from your guns. Now, you're going to eat these lies you gave to the paper about me. You're going to take them back. What's it going to be, Big Jim? This or this?
It's going to be either one.
Are you on his side, too?
I'm not on anybody's side.
That includes your side, too, mister.
Now, you stay out of this, Clay. I'm warning you.
I want to see you down at the office. Harris?
Come on.
knows, Sheriff? You might have just saved my life. It was Feeney's life that I was trying to save. I don't know you, mister, but I think you should know that in Tombstone we like even odds, especially in a gunfight.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened in the town too tough to die. Tombstone Territory.
Maybe I was a little overly excited at first, but I ain't excited now, and it's about time you got back from where you've been. I want you to arrest Clyburn here and Big Jim Gerson for printing them lies about me.
Feeney, I was quoting Gerson. That's my duty as a newspaper man. That doesn't mean I hold with his views.
Well, listen to this. Big Jim Gerson, president and principal stockholder of the Congress Mine, has dispensed with the services of Feeney Spindler, mine superintendent, since the strike was made 3 years ago. Gerson returned for the first time in 2 years from the east, where he's been making his home, to investigate an alleged slump in the ore output from the Congress. No charges will be brought to bear. What, that's the same thing as calling me a thief.
Possibly slander and libel.
What was that?
Nothing. Just thinking out loud.
Besides, there ain't been no slump in the output from the Congress. I ought to know. I've been there myself all the time.
You know, Feeney, what you need's a lawyer, not a sheriff. Miss Monahan here just happens to be one.
One what?
A lawyer.
You mean she's a female lawyer?
If your statements are factual, Mr. Spindler, I would suggest you're serving Mr. Gerson immediately with a writ, ordering a cease mining operation until you can arrange for a hearing before the board of directors of the mine.
You would?
Yes. And mind you, I'm speaking as a registered member of the Vermont Bar.
Bar?
The Lawyers Association. And one of the finest in the country.
Why don't you leave it that way?
Sir?
I guess most men like girls with curls.
Well, I am not interested in what most men like, Mr. Clyburn. I adhere strictly to the rule, never mix business with pleasure. If you're interested in retaining me, Mr. Spindler, the writ will be ready first thing in the morning.
Well, I don't know. I ain't never seen a lawyer before who didn't wear pants. I mean,
Your meaning is quite clear.
All right. It's a deal. You're hired.
Fine. Sheriff,
Ma'am?
if you will bring a witness, preferably someone not associated with the law, you can call for the writ in the morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Good day, gentlemen.
I ain't never caught much of women myself. That's why I never got married.
It occurs to me that a bachelor misses something.
Well, take a look at that, would you? You know where that ice wagon's been? Up to the Congress, that's where. After returning from 2 years in the East, Mr. Gerson has to have his ice every day. Yes, sir.
Gerson has a private supply of ice stored in the ice house for his own use exclusively.
That ice house is practically overflowing with it.
Ice. Grown man like Big Jim Gerson taking his drinks mixed with ice in them. It's downright improper.
Harris, there's no need for both of us to go in. I'll just go see if she's out.
Oh, Miss Monahan is up. I'll just wait here and watch and listen.
Uh-huh. Morning.
Why, I must look a sight. It took longer than I planned. Almost all night, in fact. Oh, you'll have to have this court approved. Just any presiding signature will do.
Any presiding signature?
Yeah. I mean a judge. Just any presiding judge. Sheriff? Is there something the matter?
Oh, nothing I can think of, ma'am. It's just your hair. I kind of like it this way. Good morning, ma'am.
Sheriff, well, I often wear my hair this way. Well, I wouldn't want you to think that I had rearranged my hairdo just for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Clay, wait for me. I'm going along. Don't tell me there's a law against it because I know there ain't. I just want to see Gerson's face when you serve that writ on him.
All right, let's just get this approved.
Spread out!
Put it away.
Clay Hollister, you make me sick. Why don't you let me shoot?
Well, mostly because you're a bad shot.
Sheriff, I want to see Gerson. Come ahead!
Sorry, Sheriff. Just a morning shot. Didn't know it was you.
Not much you didn't know it was us. I'd like to see you flat instead of upright right now.
Yeah. There's going to be no trouble. I told you that before. And the first person who starts it'll answer to me.
Bravo, Sheriff. Spoken like a man of conviction. Oh, you are a man of conviction, aren't you, Sheriff?
I'm convinced about some things. Others I let ride until they're proven. I'm hoping that this will help prove something.
Feeney, you're stale. Not old, just stagnant. Why, you haven't grown with an idea since I first met you. As far as I'm concerned, you or any other man without growth might just as well be dead.
Well, I'll show you how dead I am.
No.
Harris. Mr. Gerson, ideas don't always help a man grow. Boot Hill is just full of small men with big ideas.
Here comes the ice wagon, Mr. Gerson.
It's a long, dry ride back. Before you go, perhaps you'd like a drink, chilled with ice.
That's where I'd like to see you, Gerson, on ice.
Hey, don't keep that gun-happy squirrel of yours away from me. That's where he'll end up, on ice. I'll see to it personally. Perhaps some other time. There'll be another time. Looks like maybe Newton was wrong.
Newton?
Yeah, Sir Isaac. According to his theory, a wagon with ice should make a deeper track than a wagon without ice.
These tracks leading out are deeper.
Maybe Newton knew what he was talking about.
July 25, 1883.
Shall I send for Mr. Gerson? I already have. Come on, I can't get in with you standing in front of it.
Down here, Sheriff.
Yeah, he's frozen to death. Must have been there all night.
I was in town. I heard you were looking for me.
Yes, I'd like you to make an identification.
Dusty. Frozen solid.
Must have been hit on the head before he was deposited here.
Dusty's a good man. Have you arrested Feeney yet? Now, both you and Clyburn were there yesterday when Feeney threatened to do this.
I don't usually arrest a man just for making threats.
Oh? But you do arrest people for murder, don't you, Sheriff?
Usually.
Good. Then you can detain Feeney. You can also tell the prosecution that I'll be at the trial as a witness.
But this whole thing's a frame-up. I tell you, I'm in.
You are merely being detained, not arrested for murder. If you don't stop shouting, then no. Just pop.
I tell you, I'm in it.
Nothing, thanks.
Anytime.
What do you think? Of course, the tracks are lighter since we dumped the ice, Clay.
Yeah. Seems like this is the first time Gearson hasn't had something delivered back to town. Something heavier than ice.
All right, Burge, let's go.
Come on, open it up. Glenn, take that side. I'll go down here.
You won't find anything in here, Sheriff.
For your sake, I hope you're right.
Don't anybody go for guns, or you'll die a little sooner.
Let me see your back.
That's close enough, Sheriff. Drop your gun, Bill. The pick. That large center block of ice, chip into it.
Full of silver ingots?
Like the Sphinx, I thought my secret was safe.
It was, up until now.
There's more over here, Clay.
That's right, Sheriff. A great deal more. Enough to retire for a lifetime in style. 2 lifetimes, matter of fact. You see, I'm meeting a very charming lady in Mexico. I can't waste much more time. Kelly, get that stuff loaded.
But what about afterwards?
Oh, afterwards, it's going to be very cold, but you ain't going to feel it, Burge.
I won't feel it.
Now, with the door shut, it's soundproof in here. Now, you're going to have to die sooner or later, Verge. Take a choice.
Please help me, Sheriff. I had nothing to do with this killing. Please help me.
Ain't no help, Verge.
With you in a minute.
Well?
Well. Do you mean to say that you've had that in your trunk all the time?
You see, I thought it was important for me to prove myself as a lawyer. But I've discovered it's equally as important to prove myself as a woman.
Care for a postgraduate course?
Maybe. If I have time.
Time?
Yes. A friend of mine is arriving. Pemberton Brockway III. He's from home.
Army?
No. Military school. The uniforms are exciting, aren't they? You give up awfully easy.
Give up? I'm just wondering where I could get a uniform.
Some people don't need them.
Slider, you look like you just lost your best friend.
Who needs friends? Hey, Quint. You don't happen to have a uniform, do you?
No, why? Hey, you aren't thinking of joining up, are you?
No.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
Tombstone, Arizona Territory, March 6, 1886.
Wait.
Oh, Harris.
I was going to ask you to ride out with me, but, I see you're busy.
Just doing the rounds. Ride out where?
Going out to meet Sam Barrett. Thought I'd ride in with him.
Sam Barrett?
The newspaper man. Finest in the West.
Oh, I thought you were, Harris.
I've been writing about him for a week. Don't you read my...
You go on ahead. I'm going to stay around here. I got some things to do.
Sure. I'll see you later.
Oh, when he gets settled in, I'd like to meet him.
Welcome to Tombstone, Sam.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone Territory.
Sam Barrett, a newspaperman from Denver, had been welcomed to Tombstone by a committee of one. A gunman who had shot and killed him on the road a few miles out of town.
Pete!
Barrett.
Where'd you find him?
Outside of town a few miles. I saw it, Clay.
You saw who killed him?
Vic Reel.
The man who works for Douglas Jason. Pete, get our horses. You and I are going to ride out to Jason's place. Where have you been? Don't talk to me like a 2-year-old, Jason. Talk? I'll kill you if you do it again. Where have you been? I've been out, riding around. Where have you been riding? Denver. I rode to Denver and I told the marshal that the Taylor gang's in Tombstone. I told him all that money from those train robberies is buried right here on the ranch. I told him because I want to hang. Get back to the barn and go to work. Wait a minute. What's Jess doing coming back here? How do I know?
The man ambushed riding into town. That newspaper editor saw the whole thing. He was there.
Nobody was there. He's lying. You did it. You got the law on us. You made 4 years count for nothing. Get down off that horse, Jess. Get down! Get down, Jess. Come on, get inside. Move.
So now I've gotten me some orders to give Jason. You too, Jesse, and that goes for the rest of the boys.
You better give them fast, Vic. That sheriff is going to come riding in here any minute now.
And you're gonna take care of him for me.
I am?
Yeah, you are. Just like my brother took care of you. He sat in that jail, and he waited, and he hanged, and he didn't talk.
Your brother didn't take any chance that I didn't, or that you or Jess here didn't.
Well, like I said, he didn't talk, and he could have.
We would have helped him, if we could have.
We didn't hang him, Vic.
I know you didn't. Sam Barrett did. Sam Barrett, the Denver newspaper man. You remember him, don't you? Oh, he did some fine, fancy preaching in that newspaper of his, didn't he? Ben's life or innocent lives lost in the Taylor gang robberies. In case you forgot, the people listened to him, and they hanged Ben.
So you had to kill Sam Barrett. No matter what it cost us. All of us.
It wasn't supposed to cost nothing, Jason. I didn't plan on nobody seeing it happen.
They're here now, the sheriff and the deputy.
Now, you listen to me close, Jason. You too, Jesse. You get that newspaper man, you hear? Ain't gonna be no proof without no witness. Now, I'm gonna go with the sheriff for 2 days. 2 days. And then I start talking. I tell all I know about the Taylor gang.
None of us could afford that. Put the gun away. You'll be out before 2 days. Mr. Jason? Sheriff Hollister. I want to talk to your man here. To Vic? To Vic. You're under arrest. The charge is murder. Sam Barrett.
Well, you must be joking, Sheriff.
Barrett was ambushed on his way into town. There was a witness. He saw you.
Now, wait a minute. Who's Sam Barrett?
Just a man. Let's go.
Sheriff, Vic has worked for me ever since I've been in the territory. He's a good man. You're wrong.
We'll find out at the trial. Now, Mr. Jason, I don't know you very well, but I probably will before this is over. You can be very helpful if you want to.
I don't like it, Jason.
Oh, we'll get him out, Jess.
We'll get him out, because he'll wish he were back in. Vic Real is a dead man, any way you look at it.
You're gonna hang, Real.
For what?
I don't know why you did it, but you'll hang.
You're out of your mind, newsman. You're trying to sell a few papers. You better look for something else.
Hey, you dirty!
Tell him to get his hands off me, Hollister. Tell him!
Pete.
Your aim's still good.
Huh?
I asked whether your aim was still good.
Yeah, it's still good.
All right. And get that newsman. We have to do as our friend Vic says.
But why me? Why not Red or...
Because I said you.
So it started all over again, huh? I don't like it. 4 years now and no trouble. And now it's starting all over again.
This is the last. So your aim is still good, huh?
When, Jason?
Tonight.
It seems meaningless, Harris, but everything has to have a reason.
Then what is it? There was no robbery committed, and Sam Barrett didn't have any enemies. At least not out here.
There was a motive. There had to be. This wasn't just a thrill killing. If Real had wanted that, he would have found something in Tombstone. He didn't need Barrett for that.
Then why Sam?
I don't know. But I'm going to find out.
Anything I can do to help, Clay?
No, you just get your paper out. Something will show up. For all these telegrams we've sent out, something's got to happen.
We could use a little luck.
Yeah, that's generally what we get. A very little.
March 8, 1886, early morning. Douglas Jason's plan of murder had failed. Vic Real was still lodged in the Tombstone jail, and Clay Hollister was taking every precaution to see that he remained there until he stood trial for the killing of Sam Barrett.
Jason has 3 or 4 other men beside Real. You know anything about them?
Yeah, but no more than you do, only by sight.
Well, that does it. All the flyers over 4 years old. Nothing there.
Why all of a sudden interest in Doug Jason and his men?
Real has no other associations in Tombstone except them. Now, he kills a man. And somebody takes a pot shot at the only witness who can identify him as a murderer. He's important to somebody. When I find out more about his past, I'll know who.
You think Jason could be involved?
Well, anything is possible. What do we know about him?
Not very much. Came to Tombstone 4 years ago, before either one of us did.
And nobody from town has ever been out to his ranch. All the men he hired are supposedly from different parts of the country, and they never come into town, so we don't know anything about them.
Yeah. Well, I've wired every news source I have.
Yeah, and all my official ones. You know, Harris, this is something more than just a senseless murder.
How's the shoulder?
Gonna live, Pete.
Thanks. No replies at the telegraph office yet.
Old Jake's been doing more sending than he did when the governor was here.
He wants to know when you sleep.
Don't remind me.
You know Axe's food hasn't gotten a bit better.
Boy, you sure are hard to please. You should feel yourself lucky that you're here to eat it at all. Listen to me. I got an idea.
What's that, Clay?
I got a hunch I know who's behind this. I think I can force him to make a move. One last time, Real. Why'd you kill Barrett? You answer, you're gonna save a lot of bloodshed.
You don't make good sense, Sheriff.
Look, boy, it's all over for you. You're gonna stand trial tomorrow, and you'll take what punishment the judge and jury decide is right for you. But you got a chance to do a decent thing. Maybe even save a life.
You get out of here, Sheriff. I don't have to talk to you about nothing. You think you get it all figured out, haven't you? Well, there you go. Be surprised.
You're the one who's gonna be surprised. I have got it figured out.
Vic Real had refused to talk, and Clay Hollister, in an effort to uncover the motive behind the killing of Sam Barrett, decided on a plan of action. Douglas Jason was to be the starting point.
It's a fine-looking cattle, Jason. Ought to bring a good price. Must be money in ranching. I decided I'm going to get myself one.
Why not? You figuring on grabbing your share and leaving?
Yep.
Well, it's time for it. Where are you heading?
Mexico.
There's just one more thing to be done. Vic. He'll be out soon. Why don't you take him with you? Long, hard ride to Mexico? Anything could happen on the way.
No.
What do you mean, no?
I took care of that newspaper man. That's it. That was the last. I got money now. I'm like you. I'm gonna live right.
After you take care of Vic. Nobody else leaves the ranch, not yet. Nothing unusual is gonna happen. Everything stays just the same.
What do I get out of it?
What we all get. No more trouble. A ranch in Mexico.
All right. But I swear this is the last. What does he want?
Who?
The sheriff.
Back to work.
Mr. Jason.
Oh, Sheriff.
One of your men told me you were out here in the barn.
What can I do for you?
Leo's trial starts tomorrow. We have a lot of questions we'd like to ask you. I told you could be very helpful.
Tomorrow?
Yes, the circuit judge rides in the morning, and Real will be the first order of business. You see, somebody's trying to stop this trial before it gets started. So I figure the sooner the better.
Who's trying to stop it?
I don't know. But somebody took a pot shot at my witness last night. Luckily, he wasn't killed.
Well, I'm afraid I can't help you, Sheriff. Vic has only worked for me a couple of years.
4. 4 years.
Yes, about. I mind my own business. I don't know much about Vic, but what he does is really his own affair.
Well, be at the trial anyway, 11 o'clock.
Oh, I'll be there. I don't like trouble, Sheriff.
Neither do I. So there's not going to be any. I have my witness in protective custody, and I'm riding out this afternoon to see the judge safely into town. See you tomorrow.
I asked Red to round you up fast for a reason. The Taylor gang has one last job to do.
Wait a minute, Jason. You never told us that.
Shut up and listen, Red.
The man who saw Reel kill Sam Barrett is still alive. He was only wounded. Sheriff has him in jail in protective custody.
Then let Jess go back and do it right. Why should we stick our necks out?
Shut up and listen. Reel goes on trial tomorrow. Sheriff is riding out to meet the judge this afternoon. He won't be back till tomorrow morning. You all know what'll happen if that trial ever gets started. Because once they start asking questions, they'll never stop.
Then let's clear out now. Let's split the money and go.
No. They'd know then for sure. They got us all identified. There'd be no more hiding out. We gotta do it, Red.
Do what?
You'll keep your mouth shut and listen, I'll tell you. We get the witness and Vic and anybody else in that jail that can identify us.
They'll know we did it.
How? They'll have nothing to go on, Red. This is going to be very good, like a citizens committee, all worked up by this newsman's editorials. The citizens will simply be taking justice into their own hands. The editor will get killed accidentally. I don't want a lot of stuff in the newspapers every day about why did this happen and who's behind it.
Who takes care of Vic?
We all do.
How?
We hang him. Right in his own cell. Just as a good citizens committee would do.
We're all set here. How about it? You still think it'll work? Oh, I sure hope so. Pete?
Yeah?
Come on in here a minute, will you? Harris, I'll bet my last dollar that Barrett's killing is going to uncover something real big.
Yeah, Clay.
I want to go over this just one more time. Now, remember, the main thing is for you not to make a move until I do.
Dawn, March 9, 1886.
Jason! Tell your men to drop their guns. You're surrounded. I've got you in a crossfire.
Drop your pistol. Captures Taylor gang.
Couldn't be much bigger, could it?
No, what? Say, how's her shoulder?
Oh, fine. You know, the Taylor gang was one of the most notorious train robbery crews in the West. And they say it was Sam Barrett's newspaper crusade that made them stop. I only wish he could have known this.
Well, maybe he does.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
The deadly sound of a six-shooter in the hand of the desperado had become almost commonplace in the West. Men were shot down, robberies committed, and bands of marauders and renegades roamed the small frontier towns, looting, burning, and plundering. And when the bandits were captured, they were often turned loose because witnesses feared to come forward. This made the lawman's job, the job of keeping law and order in the community, almost impossible. Tombstone, Arizona Territory, October 20, 1880, early morning.
My leg, help me. Help me. I can't make it. My leg.
Help him. I'd be glad to help him.
Chalky! Chalky! You murdered my brother. You dirty, filthy...
What happened? Well? Didn't anybody see anything?
This one's still alive, Clay.
Barney Dager. And brother Chalky. This is really going to be rough on their sister. Give me a hand.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened. In the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory. Clay Hollister, sheriff of Tombstone, had gone in pursuit of the gang that had robbed the saloon, killed the owner, and left two of their own members behind, one dead and one dying. The gang had vanished, and the witnesses to the crime refused to come forward to identify the killers. Later the same day, mid-morning, October 20.
Whoa! I'm Sherry Dager. My brothers, where are they?
Chalky's dead. Barney's in the cell in the back. Doc Cunningham's with him right now. Wait here. I'll see if it's all right. Is he well enough to see his sister? Miss Dager?
Barney.
How is he, Doc?
Sorry, I didn't hear
I'm sorry, too. If there's anything I can do to make it easier for you.
You can let me take him home wherever he wants. I don't want him to die in jail.
Barney's been in the gang. Robbed and killed the saloon keeper this morning.
And he's paying for it with his life. First Chalky and now Barney. Let me take him home, please.
I'm sorry, Miss Dager. I can't do that.
Why? What difference does it make if he dies here or at home?
Might make a lot of difference.
To who? You?
Yes, to me. And to you, and maybe the whole rest of the town.
I don't care about the rest of the town. I only care about Barney.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem. Nobody around here cares about anybody else. And people get shot down in the street every day because of that. Well, maybe Barney can help me put an end to it.
Barney?
He owes something to the territory. Let him pay his debt.
He's dying. You talk like this?
When a man helps to commit murder and robbery, it makes him a criminal. It's my business to understand that. It's your business, too.
Barney's not a criminal. He's young. So is Chalky. They made their mistakes, but they didn't mean anything. They would have straightened out.
Yeah? Well, tell that to the saloon keeper.
He was a gambler. He was as bad as the others. A man who took advantage of drunks and fools.
But he was a man with as much right to live as anybody else. Barney and Chalky helped to take that right away from him. Look, Miss Dager, you can't excuse some people and not others. If you do, the law becomes meaningless.
If it treats everybody the same, it is meaningless. And if you think that way, too, you're meaningless. You're just an empty shell of a man standing on a mountaintop. Oh, I hope it gets lonely there.
You ever stand all alone on a mountaintop, Quint?
Sometimes that's the only place where a man can think. Yeah, I've been there.
I think I'll go over to the epitaph and see Harris. Keep an eye on things, will you? Keep everybody away from him.
Including his sister?
She isn't everybody.
Fastest issue of the epitaph I ever got out. Thanks to you, I don't get to sell a single copy.
Just so long as the story sells. And I think our buyer just got here.
Who is he?
I think he's a member of the gang. If he is, he'll be a direct line to the others.
You planning on following him? I mean, going after them?
Oh, Harris, I haven't got any proof. Besides, after that article, I think they'll be looking for me and Barney. And I'd rather have them here than me there.
Yeah. Judging from the looks of him, I don't blame you.
I think you sold your story.
fancy knife throwing. Maybe you need a little more practice.
I hip what I aim for.
Yeah? Barney's recovering. He's going to identify us. It's all over the front page of the paper.
Never leave a wounded man behind to testify, he says. Too bad you didn't use the knife on Barney, too.
Go ahead. No. When the odds change, I stop playing. Now, let's talk about Barney Dager and his sister Sherry.
Killing a woman is where I draw the line.
Killing? Who said anything about killing? There's some people who are far more useful alive. Miss Dager's one of them. And this editor fellow might very well be another. I'm quite sure he's a pillar of Tombstone society.
You touch the editor and you're a dead man. Hollister will come after you.
Exactly, but he'll have Barney with him. Now, if the editor means so much to Hollister and to the town, I'm quite sure they'd be very glad to exchange Barney for him.
Yeah, well, how are we going to get the editor to come here?
We'll persuade him one way or the other. And then we have to pay a little visit to Miss Dager. She has to persuade Hollister to exchange Barney for the editor, or we kill the editor. Of course, unfortunately for him, he'll be dead as soon as it's all over, but then so will Barney. Then there'll be nobody left who will dare offer to testify against Dirk Padella again.
Yeah.
Mr. Cliven?
Yeah?
Now listen carefully. There's a gun trained on you across the street. Take your time. Turn around slow. And look up toward the roof of that building. There's two more besides that one on the street. Mine, and another one near Dunbar Stable.
What do you want?
He'll be covered all the way. Go to Dunbar's, pick up your horse, and ride out of town. Past Fremont first, and wait. And don't look for help from your friend Hollister. We waited for him to make his afternoon rounds. He's on the other side of town.
And you came to my ranch to tell me that?
I thought it was easier than having you visit me where you might be followed.
And if I don't persuade Clay Hollister to make the exchange?
Then Barney will probably die. Oh, no, I won't kill him. I like Barney. He's a good man. But if he stays in jail, state's witness or not, he'll undoubtedly swing for the murder of the saloon keeper.
I don't believe you.
That's your privilege. There's one other thing. If the exchange isn't effected within 24 hours, your esteemed editor is going to be dead. Let's see what he has to say about that.
Don't do it. He's lying. They'll kill me anyway.
Now, I presume that you'll talk to Hollister?
October 20, 1885. A long day. And a day Sheriff Clay Hollister and the citizens of Tombstone would never forget.
He isn't anywhere in town, Clay. I've looked everywhere. If you were going somewhere, he would have told somebody. Left somebody in charge of the office. He usually does. Where you going? Over to Dunbar's. If he was going to leave town, he had to go by horse or buggy. Maybe they know something about it.
I've got to talk to you.
All right, go ahead, talk.
Not here. Oh, please, Sheriff. It's about Barney and the editor.
said you wanted to talk about Barney and the editor?
They're holding the editor hostage.
Who? Who's holding him?
The men in the gang that Barney and Chalky belong to.
Where are they now?
I don't know. They came to my ranch. They had Mr. Clybourne with them. They said that if you didn't exchange him with Barney, they'd kill the editor.
What, is that all they said?
No. They said that if Barney stayed in jail, he'd hang for the murder of the saloon keeper.
Is that why you've come here?
I saw what they did to the editor. They beat him, but he's still alive, and I think he will be until they're through with him. I remembered what you said this morning about nobody caring about anyone else. And I suddenly realized you were right. I was wrong. Barney and Chalky were wrong. And now an innocent man is suffering because of it.
And that's why you came here?
Yes.
All right. You tell him I'll make the exchange, but on my terms. I'll have Barney at Chalky's funeral at Boot Hill Cemetery tomorrow. Tell him to have the editor there. That's where I'll make the exchange. Now I think you better see Barney.
Boot Hill, huh? Yeah, we'll be there with the editor. You know, he almost came back last night to see you, but decided against it. My friends are afraid of ghosts in the dark. We decided it'd be better in the daylight where we can see as well as being seen. And for once, I'm very glad I agreed with them. You look much better dressed like that. Softer and sleepy. I like it.
Thank you.
I shall be seeing you again.
I'll be looking forward to it. This morning. Boot Hill.
That's right. I'll be there. We'll all be there at poor Chalky's funeral. Good day, ma'am.
Hardly seems right somehow. Going to a funeral to pay your respects to the dead, wearing guns. Well, those guns keep a lot of people from paying their respects to you. I guess that's about it. You ready? Yep. Let's go.
It's a track. Barney ain't with him. Where'd you expect him to be? Dancing a jig in the streets? It's his brother's funeral. Barney's where he should be, in the buggy with his sister. Untie his hands. Take the gag out. We wouldn't want Hollister to think we've been mistreating his friends, would we?
Wait here.
I don't see Barney.
He's here, just like I promised you.
In the buggy?
No, in the hearse. Barney's dead. Harris!
broken. Too bad. Clear. Havana tobacco. Rolled especially for me.
You could have lied to me yesterday about Barney. I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad you told me then that Barney was dead. It helped make today a lot easier. Thank you.
No, thank you. In a town just full of people depending on other people, you were the only one who offered to help. That might make it easier from now on. You know, I'm going to be thinking about you. That might make me feel a little bit less like that man standing alone on his mountaintop.
Well, you sure got your faith in human nature restored fast.
Stick around. A couple of years, you may be old enough to understand.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.